Ladies and gentlemen, I think today we've had two really great, this will be our second great craft set or art session. We did origami this morning with the art gallery and learned about angles and geometry in art. So I
Wow.
think that's going to come in handy today with your design, right?
It definitely will. All you'll need is a paper and pencil, but if you have a ruler, that'll definitely come in clutch for this design. But you don't need it necessarily.
No, but it was really interesting to see how the angles and geometry is so prevalent in art. And
Yeah,
yeah.
especially in Coast Salish art too.
Hmm.
You have the trigons and the crescents and the circles, so definitely comes all together as far as geometry goes.
Yeah, and we looked at a piece of art that looked at the five-sided pentagon that looked from Superman.
Oh yeah.
So that was kind of cool. That was the last image that she shared. So it was really interesting to see that art piece come in. So I guess everyone will start. It's 4:32, and if people are going to pop in, that's great. If not, they can watch the recording. But once again, I'm really happy to welcome Ovi to Connected North at Home. And Ovi is an artist and he has a really unique style. And last week, he showed us some of his work and also some of his swag, which I thought was really awesome. Like to be able to design something that people actually wear must be a real feeling of you must be really proud when you see people walking around with your backpack or your hat or your t-shirt or a sticker that you've designed for an organization. So I'm going to turn it over to Ovi. Today we're going to be designing a Wonder Woman logo, which is really super cool. Last week was Batman and Batman and Batwoman, and today is going to be Wonder Woman. So over to you, Ovi, and if you'd like to share some of your previous work, I'm sure the students would love to see the things that you've created, and then we'll be learning how to create a logo. So over to you, Ovi.
Thank you. A swale. Quith Pelch Tel Squee. My name is OV. My full name is Ovilla, but all my friends just call me OV. And yeah, I'm really happy, really excited about this next design demonstration that we're gonna go through together. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. Last week we did a Batman design, and this time around we're gonna be doing a Wonder Woman design. And since the full camera is on me right now, I'm gonna show you guys some of the designs that I've done before and through my Coast Salish art. I'm a Coast Salish graphic artist, and that's what I specialize in. So I'm going to show you guys some of the stuff that I've created and worked with other companies to put together. I do apparel designs for a company called Salish Style, based in Seattle, and I've been doing that for about 5 or 6 years. Really cool backpacks. I love seeing my artwork people being able to wear my artwork. I think that's just so amazing. Like this hat right here. This is my Unity design with Sailor Style. Bunch of cool backpacks. These are some of the new ones. I love playing with patterns, and as you can see here, I love playing with colors too. So really cool stuff. This one's really neat too. This is a kind of a Salish camouflage pattern that I put together. And I was really excited to see how this would turn out. And yeah, I'm loving this one. So that's from Sailor Style. And I got some stickers here. This is a whale sticker from a company called Trickster Company in Alaska. And I have a wolf design sticker here. And also these cool animal cards. This is for a Halcomelum language card series through Connected North. And really happy with these. I did 40 animal designs for this series. That's a hummingbird design. And I just love how these turned out. Here's a raven design. So yeah, been doing a lot of work as a designer and graphic artist. Been doing that for about 6 years now. And I'm gonna share my screen to show you guys some of the fun designs that I did. So I'm gonna show you guys my Photoshop. I mostly use Adobe Photoshop, Adobe Illustrator, and a program called Art Rage to do sketches on. Um, yeah, I spent a lot of time learning these programs, and it mostly came from YouTube tutorials. I remember I spent about a year just watching YouTube tutorials on how different tools in Photoshop works and Illustrator, and just the basics of being a graphic artist designer, and just tried to practice like a design a day, a tutorial a day, and just continue to get better at it. And at first, like my first inspiration came from superheroes because as a kid, I read a lot of comic books and played a lot of video games. I was really into hip hop, so there was graffiti as well. So I caught a lot of inspiration in my artwork. And Batman, as you can see here, definitely one of my favorite superheroes. And this is the design that we did last week. And I have another one here. This one's pretty fun. This is a Mario design. And I spent a lot of time playing Mario as a kid, like a lot of time playing Nintendo. So I think that inspiration definitely shows in fun designs like this. And here's some more comic book stuff. This is a Wolverine, kind of like a Spindle Whirl almost, a Coast Salish Spindle Whirl. Really love the X-Men, really love Wolverine. This is a fun kind of Batman pattern that I did before. You can see the kind of silhouette of Batman here, and then I just kind of made a fun pattern with it. So I like to get creative. Some Ninja Turtles here. Definitely watched a lot of Ninja Turtles, Saturday morning cartoons. A lot of time watching Ninja Turtles. This is a Venom design. Really love Spider-Man. As you guys can see, really big into comic books. I was like a total comic book nerd. So if you if you want to talk about comics and video games, feel free to do so because that's something that I really love to talk about. And today we're going to be doing this Wonder Woman logo design. Really happy about this piece. This was a really fun design. It just looks so cool. And I played around with the logo a bit. And yeah, we're going to be doing that today. Oh, Emily says she makes comics. That's really cool. That's awesome, Emily. That's really, really cool to hear. So we're going to be doing this Wonder Woman design with some Coast Salish flair to it. I'm a Coast Salish artist, and I like to express myself using traditional Coast Salish elements and putting that into my creativity to express myself. Things that I'm inspired by, like animals and comic books, all sorts of stuff. So we're going to be doing this this Wonder Woman design. So we're using Photoshop today, and I'm going to be drawing on a tablet that's connected to my computer. Um, it's a decent tablet. I've had it for a few years. It's probably costing me maybe $150, but you can definitely find some cheaper than that. I'll be using my stylus pen that came with the tablet, and I spend a lot of time on Photoshop and Illustrator when it comes to my Coast Salish designs. So if you guys want to follow along, we'll get started here. I already have kind of a ruler to mark where the center of the page is. So if you don't have a ruler, just fold your paper in half to find the center point. That'll definitely come in handy. If you have a ruler, that's going to help you out a lot, but you don't necessarily need it. I'm just going to be freehanding with my pen here. So yeah, let's get started. Yeah, you can definitely use your drawing app, Emily. Feel free to use that. There's a lot of cool drawing apps out there. I know a lot of artist friends are using iPad Pros and Procreate. There's an app called Art Rage, and I have the program on my computer, Art Rage. You don't like using paper? Yeah. When I first started out, I used to always do my work on paper and pencil. But then I started learning about graphic art, and it just made things a lot easier. And I haven't stopped. Yeah, exactly. So we're gonna start with the center point, and then we're just gonna kind of start making a W here for the Wonder Woman, kind of a triangle shape. And if you guys need to catch up, or I'm going too fast, just say you need a minute to catch up in the chat, and we'll talk about something until you catch up. That's no problem at all. Then we're gonna continue this W design. We're not gonna make a point though, we're gonna curve it a bit. That's kind of how the Wonder Woman logo goes. We're gonna bring out the W almost to the end of the page. Like I said, if you don't have a ruler, just kind of try your best to keep it straight. I know without a ruler, my lines are a bit wonky, but this is just a rough design. We're just having some fun. So then you're gonna kind of curve a wing almost. We're gonna make that W come in again, and then we're gonna curve it down to a point. So it kind of lines up with this right here. Then we're gonna bring it up to the center of the page. We should have. That looks pretty good. Not too bad. Then we're going to come down to another point to match our side. This W is starting to take shape. And I really, I didn't read a lot of Wonder Woman, but I definitely appreciate her character. I know she was a strong Amazon warrior princess, and she teamed up with the Justice League and kicked a lot of butt. I seen the Wonder Woman movie, and I thought it was awesome. I seen the Justice League. Um, I seen all the DC, all the Marvel movies. So if you have a favorite one of those, definitely let me know. I wouldn't mind talking about comic book movies too. I'm gonna bring this W in, curve it a bit to match that line. That line's off, but we can just erase that. I'm gonna start at the top here. Try and do another kind of straight line. And then we're going to curve it, match that straight line on top. That's pretty close. Then we're going to kind of make a wingtip on this edge, just curve it so the lines meet each other. That looks pretty good. That looks pretty good for the first W there. I'm going to select my eraser. I'm just going to clean it up a little bit. I don't know. Do you guys have a favorite superhero? Drop me some names for some of your favorite superheroes. You have a favorite superhero movie? I'd like to know. I think my favorite so far has been like the Batman series. I love the Batman series. Captain Marvel. Oh, I love that movie. I love Captain Marvel. That's definitely up there, one of my favorites as of recent ones, anyway. And then we're gonna start doing the co-Salish shapes. And when it comes to co-Salish shapes, we're using trigons. We're using these trigon shapes, and we're using crescents and circles, and we're just having kind of fun doing these kind of triangle shapes. And those are all elements of the Coast Salish art style. But yeah, I love Captain Marvel. That was such an awesome movie. So we're gonna start on the right side. Actually, you know what? Let's continue doing the full design and then we'll fill it in. So what I did next, I'm going to kind of do a little wing here. It'll be underneath the W. So we'll make another curve. Stop right there, and then I'll try and do a straight line. Another point. I'll make another curve. And then try and do another straight line here. Do a little bit of erasing there. So it kind of looks like a wing to me. Maybe it's not a wing, but to me, as a Coast Salish artist, that kind of resembles a wing. That's why I call it a wing. That looks all right. And then we'll try and copy that to the other side. If you have a ruler, you could use that. I've got a ruler on Photoshop, so I would just bring it down, kind of match where it is. So like I said, some of the tools in Photoshop or the apps that you have really come in handy, makes things a lot easier. But yeah, before I got into graphic art, I was doing all my sketches on pencil and pad. And that's kind of how I practiced, and I just got better at using it. And I also got kind of noticed as an artist from my pencil and pad sketches because I would just post it on Instagram. I would just share my work on Instagram. I knew my stuff wasn't the best. I was kind of still just learning, but I still felt confident that, you know, people would like to see what I'm doing, the kind of work that I'm doing. I was just having fun with it. I wasn't expecting anything. And then a company seen my post on Instagram, I was using hashtags, and they asked me if I wanted to do some designs with them. And that really blew my mind. Like I was like, heck yeah. Like I didn't plan on any of that happening. So really thankful I shared my work. I was confident enough to share my work because when you share your work, I know there's a lot of doubt and some people are shy about it, but yeah, you just got to get good at what you do. You just got to keep practicing like anything else. So I guess the wings look all right here. There's a little bit of delay on my pencil right now, but I'm gonna work through that. So we have the two wings, and then we're gonna do kind of another W. So you want to leave some space in between the W above and the one that we're about to create right below it. So at that center point, we're going to start making another W. This one's going to be a little bit different though. This one's not kind of the standard Wonder Woman looking logo. We're going to add a bit of creative flair to it. We'll do that W underneath. And then bring it up. And curve it in a bit. But we're going to stop midway right underneath that wing right there, because we're going to do something a little bit different here. So at that point, I'm going to curve it a bit and bring it in, kind of like that. And another point, and then bring it up to the middle of the page again. So if everyone's following along, great. But if you need to catch up, just say so in the chat, and I'll take a minute here. That way a bit. That line kind of messed up my. Try and fix that. A little rough, but we'll fix it up. You don't see the chat at all, Mally?
Yeah, I think there's you see the chat, but I don't see any of the students chatting at all.
Yeah, I've only seen Emily. Let me try.
See, now I just heard from Gabriella. So if you guys want to chat, maybe you can choose send to all participants.
To all participants?
Yeah. So in the chat box, it's got choices. You can put all participants. There's a couple people have private messaged me and said they can't chat. Anyway, that's fine. Keep going.
Oh, I do have it on all participants.
You do, but I think some of them might not. The default might have gone to something else. We've had trouble today, but um, anyway, the students could be it should be drawing, but that's okay.
Okay. But yeah, if you're having issues with chatting, and that's unfortunate. When I got on, it was on host. So I'm gonna continue with this W. Then work that other side. We're gonna curve it again. Just like the opposite side. And what I really like about doing designs like this is the symmetry, the kind of mirrored design it has. If you start on one side, you'll have a mirror image of the other side. That's what I really enjoyed about doing this Wonder Woman logo. Because if you looked on my work on Instagram, and that's Ovilla79 on Instagram, you'll notice a lot of my designs have a lot of symmetry. Like there's a lot of mirror imaging, like an eagle, for example. You'll see an eagle design on one side and the exact eagle on the other side. It just creates a beautiful image. And that's what I like about some of these logos like Wonder Woman. I can really have fun with it using the Coach Sailor style and playing around with it, experimenting a bit, and just kind of seeing what looks cool. And what we're going to do next is a Salish trigon shape. And I'll show you how to do that. Just kind of make a curve like that. And then you're going to make a triangle, except kind of with a curve. So it's not a perfect triangle. And you're kind of make a crescent shape to bend it in here a bit. And that's a trigon. I use shapes like this in my work all the time. I do a lot of different variations of trigon shape. You'll see me using kind of extended crescents, extended trigons, just variations, playing around with it. And I really like experimenting with my work. And after this trigon shape here, we're going to do a crescent shape. We're going to do a few crescent shapes. And when I say crescent shape, it's going to look like this. It's kind of like a quarter of a moon shape. A little bit of delay on my pin. I don't know why. It must just be the connection right now, but working through that. We'll make a few of these, 3 on each side, I think. Okay. And then, like I said before, we're going to match that one side and we're going to do the exact same on the other side. So I'll start with almost a crescent shape, but I'm going to curve that down. That looks pretty good. That looks pretty close to this one here on the other side. I like to match everything. When I'm drawing freehand, you can't really do that. You can't make exact copies. But if I was doing design work, I can make this trigon with a pen tool, and I can make an exact duplicate and just flip it on the other side, which is how I do a lot of my work. But I still practice a lot freehand. It just keeps me, you got to keep those skills sharp. So I always practice doing a lot of freehand sketches and then cleaning it up with Photoshop or Illustrator later. And if I have time, I'll show you guys how I do that too. And if you tuned into the Batman design that we did last week, I kind of gave you a brief rundown on how I clean up the designs, how I make them look nice and clean, like this one right here. Like I'll do my rough sketch and then I'll clean everything up later. But right now we're just having some fun. Another crescent shape. You know, it's funny, I'm a lefty. I use my left hand, but I tend to always start on the right. I don't know if any of you guys are lefties like me, but if so, cool. And if you can type in the chat right now, I'd like to know where you guys are drawing from as well. Where are you guys at home right now? What province are you guys in?
See, because Katie says she fixed the chat.
Oh, great.
It should work.
Let me test that.
Can you see Gabriella said cool? Oh, here we go. British Columbia.
Oh, great.
Awesome.
Alaska, BC. I'm actually from BC too. And I'm originally from Seabird Island, British Columbia. That's my reserve. That's where I grew up. And Seabird Island community is part of Stalo Nation, and Stalo Nation is on Coast Salish territory. And Coast Salish territory spreads through British Columbia and even stateside in Washington. And there's a lot of art where I found my inspiration. Of course, I look to other Coast Salish artists, for example, Susan Point, Les Lai, Carrie Lynn Victor, Sean Peterson, a lot of really cool artists that I look to. But I also look to our ancestral designs, um, the Coast Salish spindle whorls that were designed by our ancestors in Coast Salish territory. I looked in a lot of books, a lot of museum archives, and just looked at our ancestral work. And I started practicing that. And that was the best way for me to kind of learn how to do Coast Salish art, is just looking at the past work that was passed down to us. And then after I kind of got a feel for it, all right, Oakland, California. Alina, hopefully I pronounced that right. And after I practiced learning the basics, Coast Salish art, I began to kind of experiment and have fun with it and just express myself through really crazy designs like Batman stuff. Way ahead. You're skipping on us. I got my eraser out. Go back to you. No, you did not. So what we're gonna do here, I'm just gonna add a little shape here, like this one right here, to fill that in. Not really a crescent, but almost a crescent. We added a lot of weird colors. That's good. I love experimenting with colors. I think when I do a design and I'll have it finished and everything looking clean, I'll spend, an hour or two just playing with colors and seeing how it looks. So that's my favorite thing to do when it comes to design work, is playing with colors. And actually, I have an opportunity to do more apparel designs with a new company, and I'll be making patterns and designs for most likely dresses, something I really want to do, dress designs, something in the fashion scene. So I'm really excited about that. And I started playing around with designs already. And a lot of that time has been spent playing with color patterns, color schemes, and just experimenting with that a bit. So I'm totally down with weird colors like you. So what we have here is the basic outline of the Wonder Woman that we want to do. It's looking kind of rough, but that's all good because we just freehanded it. Want to clean that up with a ruler later. When I was doing my sketch work on pencil and pad, I would always have rulers, stencils for like the crescents and the circles. I would always have stencils for that, and a compass on my pencil that would allow me to do much better crescent shapes and curves. Stuff like that you can find at a dollar store, and that's probably what I did. But it's been a long time since I used that. I'm just saying those come in handy if you're just doing pencil and paper. So we're going to do a crescent shape in the wing here. We're going to do a few of them. For some reason, my pen has a bit of delay, so it's hard to make points for some reason. So maybe I'll clean that up later, but I'm just going to go along with it. I'm going to do another crescent shape. Lena, did I say that right? It's like a rainbow, the design that you got going on right now. That's great. Yeah, Wonder Woman design does not have to be just one color. I think on this one I went with I kind of stayed a little bit more true to the comic book colors. You got the red here. I think the only thing missing, maybe I should have added a bit of blue, but I think the way that looks, it turned out really cool. So for this one, I would probably just play around with colors like you. And then what we're going to do after these crescent shapes, we're kind of going to do a variation of it. So it's going to be um, almost like a circle, but not. So it's going to be a crescent variation, kind of like a C. We're going to make a C basically. So it's a little bit different than these ones. So it adds a little bit more variety to our design and the way it looks. Uh, when I play with designs, even the smallest element I change up or use can really affect how the design looks. Elena. Hopefully I got it right that time. Okay, so we're going to copy that on the opposite side now. So we're going to do crescent shapes in the opposite way. Yeah, I got it finally. So another crescent shape. We'll do 3 of them. What I like about Photoshop, like I said before, I could do one of these. And if I wanted to, I could just make exact duplicates of it and just move them all around. So it's a lot easier. But we're drawing here, so that's different. And we're going to do that kind of C shape, just in reverse. And that's looking pretty good. Now, if anyone needs to catch up in the chat, feel free to just type out, I need to catch up, and we'll take a minute. But if everyone's moving along, then we're just going to keep this going. Like I said, now that the chat is working, if you want to shout out some of your favorite superheroes, some of your favorite comics, favorite video games, favorite movies right now, feel free to do so. I'm down to chat about whatever. It's all good to me. I love just chatting. And I think what we're going to do next is we're going to do sort of another trigon shape here. It's almost like a triangle, but it's got a little bit more curves to it. And we're going to try and line that up with our points on the W that we made. And you curve it a bit. So it looks like that. Your son has some vintage comics? That's awesome. Legend of Zelda. I've played that. Yeah, the Ocarina of Time. I've played that. Yeah, I love comics. I'd love to see comics. Just Dance. I remember someone that mentioned that last time. Maybe it was you. Just Dance. I have tried that before, and I was terrible at it, but it was fun. There's another trigon shape there. Yeah, I kind of figured it was you. That's awesome. Clean that up a little bit. Minecraft. One of our providers talks a lot about Minecraft when she talks about rocks and minerals. Minecraft is really cool. I know my son spent a lot of time playing Minecraft and looks really interesting, but I haven't tried it myself, but it definitely looks like a cool game. I know he's into like a lot of different stuff than I used to play. Like he plays Fortnite, of course, that's a big one. And Gears of War. He's really into stuff like that. Likes a lot of action stuff. He's big into superheroes as well. He loves the Marvel series. Um, Roblox. Yeah, he played that one too. That's another good one. Those are really cool games. Minecraft is fun. I'll have to check that out. I'll have to check out Minecraft sometime. Do do any of you draw in your spare time? Do you guys spend a lot of time drawing, or is it just at school for fun? Do you like to draw? Do you like to draw a lot? If you like to draw a lot, what is your favorite thing to draw? I love drawing animals. I love drawing animals and birds lately. I spend a lot of time doing that. So those triangles are looking good. Draw anime and favorite YouTubers. Anime is awesome. I love watching anime. I've been a fan of anime for quite a while. I think my favorite lately is probably One Punch Man. If you guys have ever seen One Punch Man, it's a really cool series. It's a lot of fun to watch. We're going to do another kind of triangle shape here. We're trying to match this. We're trying to make it look kind of the same here. So we'll have 4. Yeah, drawing anime is really fun too. I practiced that a little bit before. Maybe next session I'll show some of that. Yeah, My Hero Academia. I have seen that. I've seen some of the first season. That's a really fun series too. I want to keep watching a bit more of that. But yeah, I definitely know a little bit about anime. My nephew watches a ton of anime. That's all he watches. So anytime I see something he's watching, sometimes I'll see what's up. I'll check it out. Oh, you tried to get the books. Yeah. Yeah, I know my nephew has a stack of books and he actually um gave me a stack of One Punch Man, the manga books, and that's kind of how I started. I started watching the series. We're gonna make some crescent shapes here, some more crescent shapes. But yeah, I love comics, I love video games, and I'm definitely down for anime too. Um, I get inspired by a lot of different stuff. Um, I like birds. I'm big into birds, so I'll draw a lot of birds as well while I read up on birds and know the different types and try and look for them wherever I am. Right now, I'm in Indiana, Lafayette, Indiana. So I see a lot of different birds that I wouldn't see in British Columbia, like the cardinal. Cardinal is a really cool bird. It's a red bird that has a really cool look to it, and it's definitely a type of bird that you would see here in Indiana, but not at all, I think, in British Columbia, as far as I know. But yeah, really into birds and animals as far as drawing goes. But you like drawing people. I don't mind doing that. I practice a bit, but I'm not necessarily good at portrait drawing. It's something I can do if I practice a lot, but I'm more into other stuff. But I definitely appreciate um, portrait drawing and drawing people as well. We're doing some more crescent shapes here. Bad at drawing boys. I can relate to that. I'm actually better at drawing probably men than I am at drawing women, but it's something that I like to practice. And I've did some really cool drawings of women and women's faces because I spent time practicing it. Wasn't easy. It didn't come natural for me. So I know what you're saying. What we're going to do on the wing here of this W is we're going to make some more of these kind of trigon shapes. We're going to fill that in. We're going to do 3 of them on each side so it looks a bit balanced. You're bad at it. You just got to keep practicing. Maybe spend 1 day out of the week just drawing a boy portrait, a guy portrait, even if it's a superhero. Maybe that'll work.
And
Yeah,
Ovi,
go
maybe
ahead.
explain to the like let the students know how much you practice a day and how many years you've been at this.
Yeah, definitely. So I spent maybe 1 year entirely of just learning um, kind of the basics of Adobe Photoshop and Illustrator. And there's you can find all sorts of basic tutorials on that on YouTube. And I didn't necessarily go to school for it, so I had to practice every single day, um, getting good at it, learning the tools. And I didn't stop there. There's still so much I have to learn about Illustrator and Photoshop, and even Coast Salish art. I'm still getting good at. So I've been doing that for about 5 or 6 years, and only last year that I've kind of made it my full-time job. I've dedicated pretty much all my energy into art and design to see how far I can go with it. And so far, so good, but it's only because I put in that work. I remember I've done a lot of labor work before in my past. I spent about 8 years as an industrial painter. And at the same time, I wanted to kind of uh, do stuff with my art and design, but it was really hard to do, try and juggle work and art at the same time. So I put in a whole bunch of work on top of work to get where I'm at right now. So I'm really thankful for that. But you only can find the success that you're looking for if you put in the work towards it. And that all comes with practice. Whether it's drawing or playing a guitar or learning how to cook, all that takes practice. And that's exactly what I did. I knew art was something, the path I wanted to go on and make it my career, art and design. So I just knew I had to focus up and just practice really hard. So I still do that to this day. I try and do a design a day, even if it's something small, but I'm doing a whole bunch of different things. I do logo work for schools and stuff like that, apparel designs. So I'm playing with patterns. And I also research a lot of different art, like art from around the world and historical art, just to kind of build that knowledge. And it helps me, it inspires me with my creativity. So I read a lot about art. I look up a lot of art stuff on Instagram and just Google. You can check out a lot of different museums that have their archives open. So you can go on different websites for museums and check out what kind of artwork they've collected. So it comes from a lot of different things, but the most important thing is just practicing it so you get really good at it. And I have to admit, when I first started out, I did not know what I was doing. It also came kind of natural to me because I come from a really creative family. My father was a painter and my mother was a writer. So a lot of that creativity did come natural for me, but it didn't make me good right off to the bat. It just kind of made me comfortable, like, hey, this is actually really fun, and I think I would enjoy doing this a lot more. I'm not necessarily saying it has to be um, in your blood, but it definitely helps too. But above all, you just got to keep practicing. And I think that's what has given me a lot of my success is just that I'm constantly doing designs. I'm always experimenting. I'm always um, trying to make myself better as an artist. And when you get really good at it, a lot of good opportunities open up for you no matter what. I think we're gonna finish this off with a couple stars in it. I know on the logo she has a couple stars, so we're gonna do that best we can. Add a ruler. My pen's skipping. So besides art, is there anything that you guys practice a lot? Something that you like working on in your free time? That's a terrible star. But my pen isn't being recognized on the pad as good as I want it to right now. Maybe I should have charged it a bit better, but it's been a bit of a struggle with me today, but I'm doing my best. And that's all you can do. Do any of you guys practice stuff besides art? I remember there was a while I bought myself a guitar and I practiced doing guitar every day for a bit too.
Alina said there was a competition on Instagram and she won. And she says, check it out. Her name is on a salmon drawing competition.
Oh wow, that's awesome. That's one of my favorite things to draw too, is a salmon. I love drawing eagles, I like drawing wolves, and I like drawing salmon because where I'm from, that's one of the main foods is salmon. That's definitely comes in our territory. So I love salmon. I love fishing. I love eating salmon. That's one of my favorites. I think what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to try and clean this up a little bit just with my eraser. But so far, that's what we got. That's a Wonder Woman logo. And after spending some time on it, cleaning up the lines, we can start to come up with something like this. And that's exactly what I would do. This is exactly how I work. I'll do a rough sketch, whether it's a bird or something, or a logo that I'm working on, a rough sketch like this, no rulers or anything. And then when I'm done the concept, I'll make sure everything's nice and clean with a specific tool that I use. And this tool is called the pen tool. And if I want to show you guys a small example. I want to do this W. I'll show you guys how I would clean that. 3 winners? Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I would definitely like to check out that salmon design. That's awesome. I've got a few salmon designs on my Instagram too. And actually, through Sailor Style, I released a salmon pattern for a backpack. And we called that the Salmon Run backpack. I'm really happy about that design. Really big into salmon drawing. One of my favorites. What I'm doing with this pen tool is I'm using points with my mouse to click on over our drawing. And then when you hold down the mouse, you can bend that curve a bit, but make straighter lines. And when I'm really working and I'm feeling like I'm in the zone, I can do this really fast and really good. But that's only because I spent a lot of time practicing. And this pen tool that I'm using, I watched a lot of tutorials and did a lot of tutorials from YouTube learning how to use this specific tool. So I just went over that, and we did our rough sketch, and then I just showed you how I would clean up that design using that pen tool. So it's looking really nice. It could be a lot more perfect, but I just went through it to show you guys an example. But yeah, that's the Wonder Woman design. And using a program, most likely you would have this option on your whatever app you're using. I'm sure there's a way to use a color fill. And that's what I do sometimes as well. Like I could fill in the colors and just have fun with it. So for a rough sketch, not too bad. But yeah, this was a lot of fun. I love doing these sessions, and I love talking about art. And my background as an artist, stuff that I've learned, and stuff that I get inspired by. And hopefully that inspires you guys as well. That's what I'm all about, is sharing and hoping to inspire others to keep that creativity going, whether it's doing art or cooking or playing a guitar, just to keep those creative juices flowing. That's what I'm all about.
Yeah, and you're so great at it, Obi. Like it's C says that they love it too. And it's really clear that the students appreciate the art that you're sharing because they come back for more and more.
That's
And
great.
yeah, and hopefully we'll see some of the results if they could please send them to us, and they know how to do that through the website by just going to connectednorth.org/at home and then going to the very bottom and attaching a file, and it will come to me and Katie right away, and then we'll send it to you.
Yeah, that'd be great. I'd love to see that. I'd love seeing the Batman designs from before. That was my favorite part. And just knowing that you guys followed along, and maybe you guys are as passionate about art as I am. And that's something that I really love to see. That's what keeps me going.
And I found those comics. My son he got them for me. So I have
Oh,
some from
great.
1983.
Wow, that's going way back. That's
Yes.
awesome.
I'll, so here we have like the Justice Superheroes, Justice League. That's from 1983. And like this, I
Wow.
guess, was the newest video game back then. And then the Fantastic Four from around the same time.
Oh, that's cool. Oh, yeah.
And like you said last week, they were like 75 cents way back then. I don't even know how much they cost. This is 1987.
That's what I remember. I have that comic, actually. I know that one. Yeah.
And this is Superman Man of Steel 1991. So this is as old as my son.
Wow, that's really cool. Yeah, that definitely looks pretty similar to my collection growing up, so I can relate with those.
Well, those were my uncle's, so then he gave them to my son a long time ago. Elise asked, "Can I see when that was colored?" The
Uh,
one colored.
oh yeah, sure. Let me go back to Photoshop. And are you talking about this one? These are the colors that I went with. It's kind of a yellow gold color and a red background. It's kind of a little bit more true to the Wonder Woman logo, except I just expressed myself using our traditional Salish elements and put in a little bit of creativity, added some Salish flair to this classic, iconic Wonder Woman design. So just kind of breathing my own interpretation of the Wonder Woman design using our indigenous style.
And Obi, how long would that take for you to create from start to finish?
I would say probably 2 hours. So this probably took me 2 hours. But I remember when I was first starting out, I would probably spend an entire day on this. So, like I was said about practicing, the more you practice, the faster you get at doing designs and putting out your creativity visions onto a design piece like this.
Students, did you have any other questions for Ovi before we go? This was absolutely fabulous.
Oh, that's great. That's what I like to hear. Hopefully, everyone had a fun time. I know I did. Um, and I'm glad we got the chat fixed too after a while, because that's one particular thing that I'm really starting to enjoy about this is um, being able to communicate with you guys as I'm doing this. It's a lot of fun, and I really, yeah, I love doing stuff like this.
Well, we love having you, and we're glad that you're going to do another session with us about personal logos, which I think will be exciting for the students because then they can reflect on something special about themselves that they like, and maybe we'll think of another couple of ideas. Or better still, if the students have ideas about what they would like Ovi to show them how to draw, maybe put those in the chat and we can talk to Ovi about that too. So if you'd like to do some animals or have any suggestions for us, please just let us know.
Yeah, I'm always down to draw pretty much anything. Also for my own practice too, I'll sometimes draw things that I normally wouldn't draw. It's just to keep those skills sharp. So I'm definitely down for any type of challenge.
Supergirl, Alina
That's a good one
says.
too. That's a good one. Yeah, this has been really fun. I can't wait to do another session. I know a logo session would be really great because I'm actually really into doing logos, and I studied a lot about logo design, the same way I studied about co-salish art. Tiger, yeah, that would be fun too. I don't think I have did a tiger yet, so that would be really cool as well.
So we've still got a couple more weeks that we're going to be at home, we think.
Yeah, I'm
Changes
definitely down
every
for
day.
anything.
So, we could do both of those, guys. That's really great. And I'd maybe even like to see a salmon because I know that salmon is important to your culture. And it's also something that I guess who had said that Alina had said that she had drawn one before. So we could do that, or we'll just
I would love
come
that.
up with some suggestions, guys, and email them to us. And we're more than willing to book Ovi for whenever we can because he's just been such a great friend to Connected North. So I want to say thanks for coming today. I don't have my list for tomorrow. Usually I have my list sitting right here. So, oh, sorry, Elena,
Elena?
Alina, Elena. Oh,
I got it right once and then I forgot, so apologies.
but tomorrow we have, I don't even have my website. Maybe Katie, I don't know if Katie's still here. We have, um, tomorrow is Wednesday. So we're starting with a planetarium tour with Miss Anna. And then we have dance. And we have Starry Night and Aurora Borealis with Colleen and Body Works with Lee. So that's going to be a really fun day, starting with the planets, then dance, then Starry Night and Body Works. So we'll have a really good day. Yeah, thanks for putting that in there, Walk. So thanks, Walk, and thanks, Ovi, and thanks, students, for coming. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a safe night and enjoy your evening, and we'll see you guys later. And thanks, Ovi, that was awesome.
Thank you. That was a lot of fun.
Bye,
You guys
guys.
be safe.